ring? Good morning. My name is Jackie Wyatt, and my pronouns are she and her. I'm a member of your UUI Board of Trustees. Woo woo. If you are here, thank you. If you are here for the first time, thank you for joining us. We look forward to getting to know you. We invite everyone present in the sanctuary today to join in our in-person coffee hour after the service. And during our service, there's a time for sharing the joys and sorrows of our lives with one another. Cards for sharing your joys or sorrow are on the table by the entrance to the sanctuary. We ask that you pick them up and fill them out prior to that section of our service. Rooted in the values of Unitarian Universalism, we covenant to be a congregation where people of all generations and meaning and purpose. We work to be a congregation that fosters transformation by nurturing spiritual exploration, lifelong learning, and intellectual curiosity for individuals of all ages within and beyond our congregation. We are so glad that you are here with us today. We hope you find the service inspiring and meaningful.
Good morning. I am David Jackaway, and my pronouns are he, him. I'm honored to serve our congregation today as service leader. A lit chalice is the symbol of our faith as Unitarian Universalists, connecting us across time and distance to a legacy of love, truth, and shared purpose. I'm now inviting John to light the chalice for us today. As we light our chalice in the sanctuary, I invite those on Zoom to light a chalice or a candle and to type your location in the chat. Our chalice lighting and opening words today are by the Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt. No picture. We are not always used, there we go, that's Dr. Sophia Betancourt, President of the UUA. We are not always used to defining a clear theological position as you use. We are at our best when refuting that which we do not believe. But when we come together, chew on that which is most important, and get clear about an expression we can take into hospital rooms, personal prayer, communal worship, and in the streets, there lies beauty. There lies that which helps us move through our days, coming ever closer to the lives we are most called to live. I know that we get there for now, since our lived tradition is fluid yet rooted, but still we get there together. May all of us be blessed as we renew this journey in community. In the spirit, next line, next page. In this spirit, let us worship together.
Please rise in body or in spirit as we join together in singing hymn number 131, Love Will Guide Us.
Would you please now join me in saying our covenant, which is in the bulletin and on the screen? Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. This is our covenant. And now we'll say our covenant in Spanish. El amor es el espíritu de esta iglesia, y el servicio es su ley, vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad en el amor, y ayudarnos unos a otros. Este es nuestro pacto. Please be seated. Our congregation is a lively community with opportunities to participate. There are no announcements this morning, but please check. Yay! But please check your order of service for more, because there are many in the bulletin. Now let us enter into the time of the service where we share our joys and sorrows of our lives with one another, so that they may be held in our community. As the music plays, I invite people in the sanctuary to come up and drop a stone into the bowl if something is on your heart today. Please use both sides of the table. If you have written your joy or sorrow on a card, please leave it in the basket on the table, and I will read it aloud. Please note that the cards at the entrance of the sanctuary out in front are there for you for your easy pickup. For those of you on Zoom, we invite you to use the chat feature. Please put in all caps either joy or sorrow, plus your name and pronouns at the beginning of what you are sharing, if you would like me to read it aloud in the sanctuary. You can also symbolically drop a stone into the bowl by typing drop stone or just DS in the chat. Let's now celebrate our joys and sorrows together. We have quite a few joys and sorrows today. Ray said he is thankful for the joy. I'm already choking up. For the Pride Parade yesterday. The Pride Parade and the rally. Yes, we showed up. We all showed up. It was fabulous. Mary Ellen says, my ex-husband and I had to put his dog down this last week. Paige was the sweetest. We love our animals. Shelby says she's remembering her dad. Oh, you guys are not making this easy. George Fletcher, who passed away a year and a half ago, excuse me. He loved reading and his family. He is loved and missed. Craig has a sorrow. We attended the No Kings rally at Indy State House. Sorrow that it's needed. Joy that so many youth showed up in support. It was great. Lydia says she's happy it's Father's Day today, and I started one CAP, and I'm going to start another one next week. CAP? Camp. Oh, camp, I'm sorry. Very cool. Molly Ann went to the Pride Parade with her brother and nephew who live in Michigan. Thank you, thank you. And Sandra says she participated in 5 drum circles last week and led 2 of them, one in person and one in Zoom. Though they may not have been shared today, we know that there are many joys and sorrows that remain in our hearts and on our minds. Let us pause now for a moment of prayer and meditation. Blessed be.
Good morning. It's so wonderful to see our beloved community here today. This is a time in our service when anyone from any age who likes to get a closer view is welcome to come up front. We just never know who will join us. Excellent. Excellent. See why it's so important to give permission instead of directing? Yeah. And I'm a little bit too pleased with myself this morning, if I'm being real honest, because the theme of this service is fluid yet rooted, and I feel like this story is 100% on theme, and it's also a Father's Day story, because today is Father's Day. Who was NRE on Mother's Day? Anybody? Yeah? A few people? Cool. So if you were here, then you know that we didn't really talk about like mothers per se. We talked more about mothering. We talked about mothering as a way of being and showing care for others. And that there are a lot of people who do that, and some of them are mothers and some of them are not. And so today we're talking about fathering. And like there are stereotypes about what dads are supposed to look like and act like. Like maybe they're supposed to be tough guys, or like maybe they're supposed to be very like official guys wearing ties and suits and going to work. And maybe they're supposed to tell dad jokes. Like I've been reading this book about anti-gravity and I just can't put it down. Right. My middle kid, Evan, is very good at the dad jokes. But in truth, there are as many different kinds of fathers. Oh no, did you just get it back there, guys? It's been a long weekend. We got to give it a minute. Oh man. But there are as many different kinds of fathers as there are people on the earth. And they act all kinds of different ways. I can tell you that as a mother, I sometimes act 3 different kinds of ways on the same day. Like I might be cheerful, and I might be bossy, and I might be a little bit crabby, and it just depends. And there are plenty of people who might not be fathers, or like they might not be your father, but sometimes they are fatherly to people that they care about. We know fathering when we experience it, and many of us show that kind of love and care for others. So today, I'm going to share a story with you called Jabari Jumps, and you might have heard this story before, but maybe you were paying attention to Jabari. And today, I'm suggesting that you pay attention to Jabari's father instead. All right? So here we go. Or headed in that direction. There's Jabari. See? I'm telling you, it's a good book. It makes the rounds. I'm jumping off the diving board today, Jabari told his dad. Really? Said his dad. The diving board was high and maybe a little scary. Did I skip a slide in here? I hope not. But I did, but that's because when I went forward, I didn't find what I was looking for. Yeah. The diving board was high and maybe a little scary, but Jabari had finished his swimming lessons and passed his swim test, and now he was ready to jump. I'm a great jumper, said Jabari. I'm not scared at all. Jabari watched the other kids climb the long ladder. They walked all the way out to the end of the board, as big as tiny bugs. Then they stood on the edge. They spread their arms and bent their knees and sprang up, up, up. And then they dove down, down, down. Splash. Looks easy, said Jabari. But when his dad squeezed his hand, Jabari squeezed back. Oh, there's the one I was looking for. See, Pobity's perfect, you guys. Jabari stood at the bottom of the ladder. He looked up. You can go before me if you want, he told the kid behind him. I need to think about what special jump I'm going to do. Jabari thought and thought. Jabari started to climb up and up. This ladder is very tall, he thought. Are you okay? Called his dad. Just a little tired, said Jabari. Maybe you should climb down and take a tiny rest, said his dad. A tiny rest sounded like a good idea. When he got to the bottom, Jabari remembered something. I forgot to do my stretches. There we go. Stretching is very important, his dad said. I think tomorrow might be a better day for jumping, Jabari said. They looked up the diving board together. It's okay to feel a little scared, said his dad. And good gracious, how did I get these in here so out of order, my friends? Sometimes if I feel a little scared, I take a deep breath and tell myself I am ready. And you know what? Sometimes it stops being scary and feels a little like a surprise. Jabari loved surprises. Jabari took a deep breath and he let it fill his body from the ends of his hair right down to the tips of his toes. Jabari looked up. He began to climb up and up and up and up until he got to the top. Jabari stood up straight. He walked all the way to the end of the board. His toes curled around the rough edge. I remember that sensation very clearly. It's been a minute. Jabari looked out as far as he could see. He felt he was ready. "I love surprises," he whispered. And do you see Jabari's dad by any chance? Yeah, you see him, Lily? He's down in the middle of the shallow end. You see him, Lydia? With Jabari's little sister. And they're waiting and they're watching. He took a deep breath and spread his arms and bent his knees. Then he sprang up off the board, flying. Jabari hit the water with a splash. Down, down, down he went, and then back up. Whoosh! And who's there to celebrate with him? "Jabari, you did it," said his dad. "I did it," said Jabari. "I'm a great jumper." And you know what? "What?" said his dad. "Tomorrow, surprise double backflip is next." So did anybody notice anything about Jabari's dad in this story? What do you think? What did you notice, Patrick?
He was trying to be supportive, not pushing to the end.
Right. He was trying to support him, but not push him. Could Jabari have decided not to jump and it would have been okay? Yeah, absolutely. I didn't get any sense Dad would be like, But who was there to celebrate when he did it? Same person. So that's pretty cool. All right. So if you have someone in your life that you're thinking about and you're like, that person gives me a kind of care that is fatherly, today's maybe a good day to tell them. And now let us sing our way out to RE. You're welcome. Open to new learning.
May your heart know love and your hands do the work of justice as you go your way in peace. As you go your way in peace. May your mind be open to new learning. May your lips bring truth into the world. May your heart know love and your hands do the work of justice as you go your way in peace. As you go your way in peace.
My apologies, I missed reading two joys from the tablet, from the Zoom, so I'm sorry. But I'll read them now. Eclipse says they started their garden yesterday, so they're very happy about that. And there's this kind of a special one, I guess, from Scott, David's son. For my dad, who's leading worship service today, and probably for the last time before he's moving to Rochester this year. He has been a member of UUI for over 20 years and a longtime church leader. Please share this. So I think we should give David a round of applause. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you, Scott. Actually, standing up here is sort of like standing on the diving board, ready to dive in. So, in April, I attended a conference on Unitarian Universalist theology. The Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt, president of the UUA, ended the opening worship service with the words you heard me speak earlier. I was struck by her statement that our lived tradition is fluid yet rooted. Fluid yet rooted? How can that be? It sounds like a contradiction. And I've always loved a good paradox. So today, I would like to explore how we can live in a faith tradition that is both fluid yet rooted, how we can live a life that is fluid yet rooted. A few years ago, I gave a sermon about metaphors. So when I heard this phrase, I immediately thought of two metaphors that seem at first to contradict one another. Fluid like a river, rooted like a tree. A flowing, winding river, a solid, branching tree. Interestingly, both metaphors are often used to describe religion. Like a tree, a religion can offer grounding, deep roots of tradition, a strong trunk of ritual and shared principles, and branches that reach in different directions while remaining part of the whole. Trees give shelter, bear fruit, and endure through seasons. Like a river, religion can help us move through life, changing as we change, responding to new terrain, shaping the landscape as it flows. A river makes room for movement, even transformation. That image of the river especially stayed with me, and it reminded me of another river-based paradox that I have long loved. It is from the ancient Greek philosopher Heraclitus, who said, "No person ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river and they're not the same person." I love that image. It reminds us that change is constant, not just around us, but within us. We are not the same from one moment to the next. And yet, somehow, there is still a thread of continuity, a self that persists, a river that still flows. We change, but we remain ourselves. That's the paradox Heraclitus gives us, identity that is both in motion and enduring, fluid yet rooted. That's why I find the river such a fitting metaphor for Unitarian Universalism. Our tradition evolves, our language, our theology, even our bylaws. But something essential carries on in the current, our values, our commitments, our love for one another. Now, I have been partial to a river metaphor for Unitarian Universalism. I've always been partial. I like the emphasis on a faith that adapts itself to the changes and needs of the world. Perhaps I favor this metaphor because I was born and raised in St. Louis, River City, where the Missouri River flows into the mighty Mississippi. That river is ever-changing. It meanders, it floods, it carves new paths. And one time, it even flowed backward. That was during the New Madrid earthquake of 1811. But the river adjusted and carried on. As the old song goes, "Old Man River, he just keeps rolling along." Unitarian Universalism is like that. Ours is a faith that changes and evolves. And sometimes a momentous challenge causes us to pause and reorient. But then we keep rolling along. And the way the world is today, we may be on the precipice of another such moment. But I think the major reason I like the river metaphor for our faith is the image, not of tree branches going outward, but of rivers and streams flowing in to the river of our faith. Unitarianism, Universalism, and Unitarian Universalism have been enriched over the years when ideas from humanism, Buddhism, earth-based spirituality, and other religions, and from science, philosophy, and poetry, and other disciplines have flowed into and mixed with the waters of our faith. This idea that we welcome theological diversity and freedom of belief, that we don't require adherence to a single creed or doctrine, that our community is united by shared values, and that we learn from each other as we journey together. This idea has a name: pluralism. It is one of the 6 shared values adopted at last year's General Assembly. But to truly embrace pluralism requires more than simply tolerating different beliefs. We must have the spiritual discipline to commit to choosing curiosity over defensiveness when encountering ideas different from our own, to refrain from othering when someone expresses a hard truth, to stay in relationship, even across deep difference, to stay grounded in justice for the long haul. And we must continually practice, listening deeply, honoring difference, holding our own truths lightly, and working for an inclusive and equitable world where no one is marginalized because of what they believe, how they look, or who they love. For generations, Unitarian Universalists have embraced pluralism as a strength of our tradition. In recent years, we've taken steps to lift it up more intentionally, naming it, centering it, and committing to it through covenant. Last year, delegates at our General Assembly approved a major update to the UUA's bylaws, known as Article 2. This update replaced the long-standing list of 7 principles and 6 sources with a new framework, 6 shared values, all centered in love, each accompanied by a short covenantal statement. The values are pluralism, justice, equity, transformation, interdependence, and generosity. This change followed years of discernment and conversation across the denomination. And in many ways, the debate between keeping the principles or adopting the values could be seen as a debate between rootedness and fluidity. The 7 principles had guided us for nearly 40 years. They gave us language, clarity, identity. They are our roots. But the shared values invite something different. They reflect the fluidity of a living tradition, less a creed, more a compass. They're meant to help us move through change, to adapt with purpose, and to center love in all that we do. In just a few days, several of us from UUI will be attending this year's General Assembly. This time, the new values won't be up for a vote. They'll be put into practice. They'll help shape our conversations on immigrant rights, LGBTQ+ freedom, and other pressing justice issues. We won't just be talking about fluid yet rooted, we'll be living it. These values won't shape the votes we take, they'll guide how we gather, how we listen, and how we live into our commitments as Unitarian Universalists. The shift from principles to values doesn't mean we've lost our direction. It just means we're learning to navigate differently. If the principles were like a map, drawn at a specific moment in time with fixed landmarks and clear boundaries, then the values are more like a compass. They don't chart every turn, but they point us toward what matters most: love, justice, interdependence. A map can grow outdated. A compass remains useful even when the landscape changes. In a fluid world, we need both direction and flexibility. That's what these shared values offer. It's important to note, however, that the phrase fluid yet rooted is not asking us to choose between fluid or rooted, between river or tree. That little word yet holds the paradox of a living tradition that is somehow both fluid and rooted. Fluid because we do embrace new ideas and adapt to the times. Rooted because we have shared history and shared rituals, shared values and principles. Perhaps neither a river or a tree is the best metaphor for our faith tradition. Perhaps jazz would describe us better, where the music has many fluid and creative improvisations, but is rooted within the basic structure of the piece. In jazz, each musician brings their own style, their own voice. There's room for solos, for improvisation, surprise, new interpretation, but they're always listening to each other, always returning to the shared rhythm, the common key. That's what spiritual pluralism can look like. We're not all playing the same note, but we're playing in relationship, rooted in covenant, making something together that's more beautiful than any one voice alone. Unitarian Universalism is a covenantal faith. As a pluralistic community, we are not tied together by common belief, but by the promises we make to one another. We may not all be playing the same note, but we are committed to listening, to adjusting, responding, and returning to the rhythm we've chosen together. In other words, to be fluid. Covenant means we keep showing up for each other, even when we miss a beat, even when we fall out of harmony. It means we hold space for one another's growth. And in a faith like ours, our promises are our roots. Fluid, yet rooted, says we are not an either-or faith. We do not accept binary modes of thought, right, wrong, sacred, secular, theist, atheist. Ours is a both-and faith, a non-binary faith. Our faith is fluid, yet rooted in love. And what lies underneath this question of fluid yet rooted is the question of identity. Many people today are coming to understand gender as fluid rather than fixed, not defined by rigid categories, but experienced as a journey of self-discovery and authenticity. The same is true of spiritual identity. Unitarian Universalism recognizes that each of us are on a spiritual journey that may lead us to different truths over time. We do not provide a destination or a final truth because we are a faith movement. We are not about standing still. We're not about stopping. We're about showing up, changing, growing, and walking together. A movement shifts and responds, but it keeps moving with purpose. A movement is fluid. Our shared values help point the way. Faith for us is not a place to arrive, it's a path to walk with courage, with humility, and with love. And Unitarian Universalism offers a community of fellow travelers to walk with you, rooted in love, fluid in becoming. But as all journeys do, my journey is about to change direction. My time of walking together with all of you will be coming to an end later this year, as I will be moving to New York State. It has been my great pleasure to have been a member of the UUI community for the past 22 years. I have learned so much from all of you, and I cannot say enough kind words about how you have treated me and my family, and about the great RE program that helped raise our son. The only thing I know for certain is that no matter where the river of life takes me, I will always have roots here in Indiana. May each of us journey forward, supported by this fluid yet rooted faith. May it be so. Thank you.
Hey Billy, my baby, take a look at me. It's clear you've got your mother's eyes, but who do they see? The nurse just called me father. Well, hell, I guess that's what I am. But what makes her think I'm a family man? 'Cause fathers are fathers, fathers are mothers.
I laughed with you, I cried with you, helped each of you grow. I kissed you every morning, your laughter that made the day. And and you're gone and gone. And fathers of fathers, fathers of mothers, strange how kids measure your worth. They're here and then they're again, but in some way they make it matter that I walk the face of this Hey, Father, I love you. I pray you'll pull through. You cared for me. It's my turn now to take care of you. I've tried to show my children the kind of strength you show to me. I feel such a longing just to be a son. Instead, now I'm one of those fathers of fathers, fathers of fathers, run and can say what it's worth. The common list of pleasures, why should it be a thing that measures that I walk the face of this
Every month, UUI gives half of the Sunday collection to a cause chosen by the Social Justice Committee. This month, the Share the Plate offering will go to Trinity Haven. Based in Indianapolis, it is the Indiana's first residential program specifically for LGBTQ+ youth, ages 16 to 24, who are experiencing housing instability. LGBTQ+ youth are at a much higher risk of homelessness, and many avoid traditional shelters because they fear discrimination. Trinity Haven steps in to meet this urgent need with inclusive, supportive care that truly makes a difference. Their services include long-term transitional housing, short-term home placements, and personalized support, including case management, education assistance, healthy meals, mental health support, and life skills coaching. To give, use your smartphone and text the donation amount along with the word SHARE to the number in your bulletin or on the Zoom chat. You can also give at uui.org. Here in the sanctuary, the ushers will come around with collection baskets. We now welcome your offering with gratitude. May it be given with a spirit of generosity and joy. Thank you for your generosity. Our closing words today are from Michelle Collins. Changes abound. Changes abound around us, within us, between us, in our communities, our neighborhoods, and our beloved faith communities. Changes abound. May we each find the balance point we need as we move through our ever-changing world. The balance between the old and the new, between the known and the unknown, between the familiar and the perhaps bold and risky possibilities that may be there, waiting.
You'll note a change from what I am about to tell you versus what's posted in your bulletin. Please rise in body or in spirit as we join together in singing hymn number 354, We Laugh, We Cry.
First, special thanks to all the musicians who have contributed to our service today. And to all you fathers out there, have a good rest of the day. And now, please join me in our chalice extinguishing words on the screen and printed in your order of service. Now we extinguish the flame of our chalice, but not the light of understanding, the warmth of compassion, or the fire of commitment. Let us keep those with us until we meet again. Go in peace.